wants to question Allah as to why He did and why He didn't. Yalla, come on, all of us now. Every person has an opinion, and every person wants to question Allah as to why He did and why He didn't. But why is this like that for, brother? Convince me. Convince me, brother. Your argument isn't too convincing. Really? Really? You can't sort your own problems out. If I was to tell you, pick a number between 1 and 10, you wouldn't even know from which part of the brain that came from. But you have the audacity to question Allah Azza wa Jal as to why He did and why He didn't. And worse still, you have the audacity of going around promoting that you're a Muslim. Habibi, I don't know what Islam you're talking about. Because going back to the beginning of my talk, that's not Islam. Islam is complete and full submission to Allah. Complete. Allah's not interested in your thoughts and my thoughts. Allah's not interested in your feelings and my feelings. Allah's not interested in the opinion and the flow of Allah, what's out on the street, public perception. Habibi, leave that to democracy. That's not to Islam. The deen of Allah is complete. It's not open for negotiation. You want to make up your own rules, fine. But don't call it Islam. Don't twist and play with the deen of Allah to make it, fit your whims and your desires. That's not how it works. That's not Islam. That's your own version of events. Islam is what Allah and His Prophet wants. We need to understand, my brothers and sisters, because today is an attack on your aqidah. It's an attack on your faith. Making you doubt and making you question your own faith. Muslims, forget non-Muslims. Wallahi, Muslims. Yeah, but why? Are you sure? Are you sure, brother? Yeah, but that doesn't seem right. Worse, that doesn't sound fair. Wow, fair? And who made you the measuring stick of fair? Since when were you and I the ones who determine what's fair? Let me share this one ayah in the Qur'an. And please give me your undivided attention. Please. Wallahi, I ask Allah that the nur of this verse enters your hearts and that you and I both understand that this topic that I've been insisting on is so important for your faith, you have no idea. Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah An-Nisa, when He was speaking to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and please stay with me. Allah, when He was speaking to Rasulullah in Surah An-Nisa, this is our faith, my brothers. When I say I'm Muslim, then it means I've submitted fully. Not every time something comes up, look, you know what? We all need to sit down and discuss. We need to discuss. What does Allah say in the Qur'an? Allah speaking to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and who was He surrounded with? Who was the Prophet of Allah surrounded with? He was surrounded by those people whom Allah praised them in the Qur'an for what quality? What was the quality Allah praised them in the Qur'an for? قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا. What did the companions say? They say, we hear and we obey. Not we hear and we question. Not we hear and wallah, let me dwell on it for a little bit. Not wallah, yeah, you know what, look, I heard, but let me go back to the boys and see how the area. No. قالوا سمعنا وأطعنا. Allah praised them in the Qur'an for this quality. They hear, as long as it's authentic, it's from Allah and His Prophet, then it's the absolute truth. We don't question. So Allah speaking to Rasulullah, Surah An-Nisa, Allah says, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ. Wallahi, where do I start with this verse, man? Allah, look how Allah starts. Allah starts off the verse, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ. Allah takes an oath by Himself. Wow, what a way to start. You know, sometimes you meet someone. Assalamu alaikum, brother, what's your name? Brother, my name is Mohammed. But if you were to meet someone, tell him, Assalamu alaikum, he says, wa alaikum salam, tell him, brother, what's your name? Sister, wallahi, my name is Muhammad. Ooh, cuz relax, slow down, bro. Whoa, whoa, slow down. Are you with me? Allah speaking to us. Wow, wallahi, I wish I had time, bro. I wish I had time. Allah says, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Qur'an, my brothers, Qur'an. You want to know why this topic is so important tonight? Because this is your deen. This is your aqidah with Allah. This is your faith. Allah says in the Qur'an, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ. I swear by myself, Ya Rasulullah. لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. These companions, these people will never believe. Their faith will forever be incomplete. Your iman is incomplete. لا يؤمنون. Who's speaking? Who? Not some sheikh. These are not my thoughts and my opinions. This is your Allah speaking to you. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ you ya Rasulullah. حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah says they will never believe. Their faith will forever be incomplete until they make you, Ya Rasulullah, the judge. Not in some of their affairs, not when they want, not when they pick and choose. Allah says until they make you the judge in all of their affairs. Deen. This is deen. You want Islam? You go outside, wallahi, but people are lost, people are confused. Wallahi, even amongst religious people, wallahi, I don't even know, like where do you draw the line anymore? فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ. Until they make you the judge, Ya Rasulullah, in... My brothers, this is for you. This is, wallahi, today's talk, today's khutbah. Please don't think about people outside. Think about yourself, bro. Wallahi, this is why we're struggling. Why are our marriages failing? Why? You know why? Because the truth is, Allah and His Prophet are not the judge in all of our affairs. They're the judge in some of our affairs. In the affairs that I like. In the affairs of when it's going to suit me. Are you with me? حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ. Allah says, until they make you, Ya Rasulullah, the judge in all of their affairs. Did Allah finish the verse? Please, wallahi, I beg you. Surah An-Nisa. Go home today, wallah, just read the verse. What an amazing verse. حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Until they make you the judge in all of their affairs. ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Not only, Ya Rasulullah, are they to make you the judge in all of their affairs, but they are to find no difficulty, no hardship, no bitterness in whatever your judgment is. Are you with me? When Allah and His Prophet declare a matter, not only are you supposed to take it, no. Allah wants more. Not only are you supposed to take it, but you are supposed to feel no hardship, no bitterness in whatever the verdict is. ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجٌ. There's no haraj. There's no, yeah, all right, but no. If this was the order of Allah and His Prophet, and this is the verdict of Allah and His Prophet, then there is no bitterness. Did Allah finish it there? Who knows how the verse finishes off? Who? Barakallah. Allah says, not only do they have to love the verdict, but we go back to the very beginning of my talk, where you وَيُسَلِّمُ تَسْلِيمًا. Allah says, not only do they have to make you the judge, not only do they have to accept whatever your verdict is, not only do they have to love your verdict, but they are to submit 50%, 80%. How much, my brothers? Full submission to Allah. This is deen. Allah says in the amazing verse in the Qur'an, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهَ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمْ what is it? مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. Allah says in the Qur'an, please stay with me, that it is unbefitting. Allah says, it is unbefitting for the believing man and the believing woman that when Allah and His Prophet have declared a matter, that the believing man or woman should have an opinion on the issue. Whose words? The deen of Allah is not a game, my brothers. The deen of Allah is not a conversation, wallah. It's not like the World Cup where we sit down and we speak about this player and that player and this team and that team. The deen of Allah is complete, it's perfected. My job and your job is to submit fully. Wallahi, and please take these words very carefully because I know it's going to open a lot of doors of fitna for some people. I would just rather someone say to me, look, the deen of Allah is perfect, but I'm just weak, I can't do this act of worship. I'm not giving you excuses, but I would rather you say, look, the deen of Allah is perfect, but I just can't do this currently right now, but inshallah I'm working on it, than to twist and play with the deen of Allah so that it suits your whims and your desires. This deen is based on submission, obedience, my brothers. That when Allah says jump, we say what? How high? And don't let this door of logic, no, but brother, you know what? I'm thinking about it logically. Habibi, wallahi, you can use logic to establish Allah. In deen, you can use logic. Yani if there's a non-Muslim, we say to the non-Muslim that he can use his logic to establish the existence of God. But once you've done this, once you've established the existence of God, and you've established that Allah Azza wa Jal exists, and that He has a book and He has a prophet, we now tell you to put your logic where? Where do you put your logic? Habibi, put it aside. I'm not disrespecting it, but in Islam, it's no longer logic, it's submission. And Ali bin Abi Talib says an amazing thing. He says, if Islam was based on logic, then one would wipe under his sock and not where? Not on top of it. Submission. Why do we make tawaf around the Kaaba 7 times? Anyone know? Does anyone know? Because the scientists said that this star and this moon, and that if you throw the stone like this, we eat Al-Quran, and if you use a boomerang, and if you... You know how many brothers and sisters, wallahi, I'm not joking. You know how many brothers and sisters don't even get to enjoy their Hajj or their Umrah. He's looking at the Kaaba. Moment in time, moment like a milestone in your life. Yeah, but brother, why are they walking around anti-clockwise? Like, why aren't they walking around the other way, bro? Ya Allah. Because why is it 7 times? Like, why don't they do it 5? Submission. Habibi, wallahi, just obey. Again, now some brothers and some, yeah, but brother, wallah, like this is very hard for me. So I'll give you guys an example. When a woman, when her husband dies or she has a divorce, they have a time where they call the iddah. Basically, What's the English translation of iddah? Like a cooling off, yeah, but it's not a cooling off period. It's not like she was at a war zone or something. Oh, I need to catch my breath. But yeah, no, it's like a cooling. Basically, that when a woman's husband dies, or if she was to have a divorce, if her husband dies, it's 4 months and 10 days. And if she was to have a divorce, I think it's 3 cycles, like 3 monthly cycles, where she's not allowed to remarry, she's not, right? Like she has to be in seclusion, she has to be in her home, right? If I tell you how many times, yeah, but why, brother? But why? 4 months and 10 days? What is this zulm, bro? What is this oppression? Does Allah oppress, my brothers? But why? Why 4 months and 10 days? Why does she have to wait 3 months? Why is it 3 periods? Why? And then brothers, no brother, because some scientists said, and actually this is a real study that I came across. I found it interesting, but I'll leave it there. I actually found that quite interesting, that when a man and a woman interchange fluids, right? When they're intimate, fluids interchange. Apparently that the male's fluids leaves like a pattern, it leaves like a trace within a woman. And scientists say that it can take up to 3 months for the trace of that fluid to disappear. Now that's interesting, but is that why women have to wait 3 months? Is it? Why do they have to wait 3 months? And if that sister knew what was good for her, she would what? She would wait the 3 months. So some brothers say, so then the sister, sometimes she gets smart. Yeah, but brother, I haven't slept with my husband in 6 months. So I already know that law doesn't apply to me. Here we say, sister, she's divorced now, so qalbi ruhi aynayyi. You may be an exception, but that's not how Sharia works. When Allah brings down a law, it applies to everyone. So even if you haven't been intimate with your partner, with your husband, you still have to wait the 3 months. Yeah, but why? That's stupid. Watch. Wallahi, I'm actually mentioning this for a reason. Sister, when you're driving your car and you're on the road at 3 o'clock in the morning and there's no one on the road, it's only you, and you come to a red light, do you stop or do you go? Brother, what's that got to do with the question I'm asking you? Wallahi, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, there's no one on the road. I'm driving my car and I get to a red light. Do you stop or do you go? Are you confused, bro? Well, you guys don't know traffic laws? All of these guys go. Do you stop or do you go? Generally, you stop. But we don't want the generally, brother, because I'm a chauffeur and I know the go. And Al-Qur'an, I looked around and there's no one. So if I was to stop, brother, wallahi, I can't. No, you stop. Even though you're not a danger to anyone and no one is going to be harmed, but the law is the law. You stop. And you have no problem stopping at the red light, do you? But I have problems with Allah and His verdict. Whatever Allah has said to us, my brothers, we do. And whatever He's prohibited us from, we stay away from. Whether we understand it or we don't understand it. Because we're Muslims and we have submitted to Allah fully. Now, I'm ending. Trust me, I'm ending. It's been long. I'm ending. This does not mean we can't question to understand the wisdom behind things. Because Ibrahim alayhi salam, he asked Allah in the Qur'an, He says to him, "Oh Allah, show me how you give life to the dead." Ibrahim alayhi salam in the Qur'an, he says to Allah what? Ya Allah, show me how you give life to the dead. So what was the next question from Allah? The very first thing after the question, what was the first thing Allah said to Ibrahim? Who knows? Where? The first thing Allah says to Ibrahim, Ibrahim, don't you believe? Are you questioning? Are you doubting? What did Ibrahim say? He says, no, Ya Allah, I believe fully. I don't doubt you at all. ولكن, but to strengthen my iman. I'm not doubting you, Allah. I know you can do it. But I want you to show me to strengthen my faith in you. Then Allah tells him, grab the birds and take them to the 4 hills and the mountains and what you call them. And. So there's no problem in questioning to understand the wisdom behind something, to strengthen your faith. But don't ever question Allah and His Prophet. Don't. If it's authentic, you know that it's pure, it's only good for me.